Hi guys, I'm Lisa Grail. Welcome to my channel. And I had very big impulse to shoot some video and I couldn't resist it. Though I haven't prepared the script in advance, this will be improvisation, which is very new for me, but I hope that my language will allow me to convey all ideas and thoughts that I want to give you right now. Sorry for my English, I'm not a native speaker, but maybe I will move to America and the things will change. So sorry if I use words incorrectly or my pronunciation is not very good. Well, today I have several issues to tell you, to convey, and it will be mostly about the fourth state of consciousness. The state of consciousness which is available for us as a result of the development of our brain ability. Normally we are living in wakefulness, though it's not very well perceived as wakefulness because we are sleeping in our daily life. We are reacting to the events automatically by the programs of our brain, which are formed in rigid neural connections, and this is one of the states of our consciousness, wakefulness. The second state of consciousness is sleep. Usual, normal sleep when we see dreams, when we don't see the picture of reality, but our brain keeps on working and digesting some kind of events it seen during the day, for example, or some kind of subconsciously very deeply hidden events from childhood and so on. And the third state of consciousness is a deep sleep. Deep sleep, we even cannot remember what we see in dream, and there was no one even to register that this deep sleep occurred. But we have a fourth state of consciousness, and now I'm gonna try to explain what it is and how to get there, and the main thing for what we are going to this fourth state of consciousness, what it gives us. The fourth state of consciousness is the foundation, is the basis on which these other three types of the state of consciousness appear. It gives the initial impulse to all we see. It's like an unlimited, endless space which has no characteristics, no sex, no age, no shape. And in this state of consciousness we lose our personality and the programs of our ego, and it gives us a great relief to perceive the reality as it is. And even the picture that we will see in front of our eyes will be a little bit unusual. So ordinary human have only three states of consciousness in which he is living. But if we move our attention to somewhere deeper, we will find out that this whole film appears on the basis of something big, which is always present here, and includes all the subjects in it. This body, this furniture, this room, and the main idea of enlightened person, if I can say so. When you are enlightened, there is no one inside the body, I will tell you. You can shift from the perception from personality, the character of this film, to someone, something, which observes the whole film. Like, it's like a screen, movie screen, on which film is happening. So you see that you are everywhere and you living with this picture. You are moving with this picture. Also, you can discover that talking happens on its own, that you're not controlling your body, that there was the very mind which tried to command and was truly thinking that it decides anything in this world. It really looks very scary at the first time when you have such transcendental experience, when you shift to this fourth state of consciousness. There is no one who registers that the life is going. It's like only maybe on the background, ego is trying to control something, but it cannot. It becomes obvious that no matter how you try, no matter what you do, the film will keep on going without your control. That's why in many religions, in Bible, it's written to give up, to accept all that is happening to you. It sounds like the lack of willpower and very silly behavior from the point of view of modern reality, where we need to struggle and fight every day for the survival. But it's very wise thought, and it reflects the real matter of things, how it is. This state also can be characterized as the absence of thoughts, or at least they are very silently present somewhere on the background. And what we are doing on this channel is exactly trying to regulate our body in such way to move to this perception of reality, because it can give you the total relaxation, total trust in events that are happening to you, and it will open up your abilities which were hidden due to a very big tension and conceptions of your mind, and also about the image of yourself and what you can in this life, because all this is not true. We don't know ourselves. We don't know about the abilities of our bodies. It's already checked on myself, because there is a big discrepancy of what I was thinking I can and what I'm doing right now. And if I can, then anyone can. It's just a very persistent work, daily work, with your attention, with the observation of your thoughts, and with your body, because from the body we can influence on consciousness. Our body is a great, amazing chemistry laboratory which can produce all the elements we have for our productivity, to improve our productivity, to improve our stamina, and even to get rid of some conditioning like food, water, sleep, or decrease them a lot. And it happens not by our willpower, or not because we are repeating this to ourselves like hypnosis. Not. It happens automatically when we switch to our fourth state of consciousness. And it can be trained as the training of your attention in the moment as well, to be in the totality of present moment. If you are thinking, then just think only what you see right now and not about the yesterday. If you will direct all your attention only in what you see right now, you can achieve the feeling of inner silence, the state in which nothing else exists but only this present moment. It gives you a deep relaxation where you don't need to suffer or worry about something. And this silence, this perception can be achieved when we are not only focusing our attention, but have a very strong nervous system. So it's not being triggered by some kind of stimuli from the outside. And in this state, even if someone will spit on my face, I don't care. This is like I'm untouchable. I perceive the world as not so aggressive anymore. I see the cause of all things and reactions of other people, that this is the program of the mind which is speaking to me. But everybody in this world have the one source, the one foundation. This is the limitless consciousness which observes all the picture, and this body only a character, the element of the nature and the whole film. So we can at least understand this logically and believe it or not. But if we start the research and go to the observation of our thoughts, we will also discover that these thoughts are coming and being supplied by something, I don't know from where they come, but they are absolutely not mine. They are coming and going like clouds in the sky. And if I won't be involved in these thoughts and won't be believing them, I will be rejecting them, I will remain pure and untouchable. And even my actions, my daily plan became much more spontaneous, like this video, because my mind still tries to plan something for a day to make me productive, to do my tasks, but I see that my whole day is being built otherwise. So I see the illusion of control. Maybe the most important thing is the impulse, the initial impulse of yourself to do something with pleasure. And then the events and circumstances will be going as they should, but not as you expect them to go. This is a very important thing that in the fourth state of consciousness, you clearly see that you cannot get what you want, what your ego and the mind want, exactly at the time you want, exactly in the form that you expected. And surely other people is not the subjects of your control. All our disappointments in relationships are connected that we expect too much and we live in the illusion of our mind. This is a separate topic. But all I can say is do what you have to do in each moment of your life and let it be as it should be. Give it to the right of God or whole consciousness to decide where your scenario of life will be going. And this is the only idea of happy life, because no matter how many things you will achieve, your mind, your ego won't be enough with this. And if something unpredictably bad happens, you will be totally destroyed by the events, because tomorrow can happen everything, a war or another quarantine or some kind of new epidemic and so on. We don't know what will happen and no one knows. But if you perceive the reality from the fourth state of consciousness, you are not suffering, you are accepting everything as a very interesting film in which you are acting as you should in each moment. And moreover, you begin to do only what you want to do sincerely. After the enlightenment, many things that you were doing as a must will automatically be erased from your life. When you was forcing yourself by the considerations of your mind that this is beneficial and that's why I'm communicating, for example, this or that person, it will also disappear. You will no longer be able to lie to yourself, to lie to other people. You will be so open and fragile that it seems scary from the point of view of our mind. But there is one cool thing that usually when you live from your heart, only from the initial impulse of what you should do on this planet, what is your real purpose of being here, all circumstances are for you, not against you. If you keep on resisting the events because you are not receiving ideal picture of your crazy mind, sorry, but we all are crazy, then you will be suffering and will be keep on fighting and resisting until your body is exhausted to death. Now, our body is very clever and it has kind of limiters. It stops our mind from doing some kind of creepy things only because it has a self-regulation system that will turn to illness if you will go astray, not as God prepared for you, but as your conceptions of who you are imagined for yourself. What I told? Okay, I hope you understood what I want to tell you. Still, it's very difficult for me. Sorry, I'm very sorry, but maybe This is my first satsang. I tried to record and let it be such. So in this neutral state of mind, when it's very calm, in the expanded consciousness, in the fourth state of consciousness, I just live today, this moment. And it gives me a very great relief because I'm not worrying and I'm totally trusting and I'm interested in what will be without desire to be in some kind of other place. My mind would probably be very dissatisfied with the conditions I'm in now. It's winter, it's very dark and cold. I'm living not in palace, but in an ordinary apartment with not very pleasant walls still. But I feel myself very comfortable. And I know wherever I will go, I will pick up my perception with myself. And that's great because even if I will have lack of food or some kind of other not very pleasant conditions, I can go to this silence. I can return back home to this foundation, to this basis, and just perceive the whole movie as a miracle. Because only our mind wants more and more. It is not satisfied with the miracle of life. All we see, it's miracle. Such beautiful coloring. You are becoming more sensitive. The picture becomes very bright because your attention is not defocused, it's concentrated. And so you see reality as some kind of matrix or illusion, and it's like bouncing and breathing like on the mushrooms. I tasted only one microdosing maybe 5 years ago, but I clearly remembered this condition and what I told myself in Vietnam 5 years ago when I tasted mushrooms. Wow, I want to live like that. And seems like I'm living like that, though with not so big special effects that I've seen. But the idea is the same. The short memory is being hacked and the perception changes a lot. Regarding the nutrition, fasting, I know many of you are interested in these processes, and here I have the total clarity how it works, for whom it works, and how we can shift to some kind of light types of nutrition. The main idea is that from willpower, your strong intention and discipline, you cannot achieve very high goals, like to shift absolutely to raw veganism, for example. When I started my raw veganism in 2018, it was total fuck up because I was trying to prove something to someone, because I was torturing my body. I was absolutely not connected to my body. I had this crazy idea that only raw veganism is ideal and I should prove to everyone that it is. I wanted to rape this world, other people, and wanted them to behave as my crazy mind decided. And of course, after the half year of practicing raw veganism, I received only a very thin body and very damaged psyche, and began eating, drinking alcohol, and even smoking. So don't try to deceive your body and your psyche. And don't try to control with your mind what is happening with your body. If you will relax and give the right to operate your body by something, from there you will see that the body does only the things that are beneficial for it, and then you will forget about all illnesses. And even if some disease can happen from time to time, you will very easily pass through this disease. Of course, to try to shift to some kind of more ecological ways of nutrition is necessary, and you can also have new habits, very pleasant habits in your eating, but maybe there will occur many rollbacks to the other type, the previous type of nutrition, when you are going on willpower only. And regarding fasting, the same thing. When you are counting hours of your fasting, this doesn't work. If you are going to the fasting, you should be so attracted by the things you are doing with the events and maybe communication that you forget about the food. But as food is a very great craving and habit, we are eating several times a day during many years, this will be very hard to shift your attention to something else. But when you're on the fourth state of consciousness, when you perceive yourself as not the body, you can spend many hours without food, sleep, and so on, because there is no mind and no psyche that wants to eat problems, which is anxious, and that's why it needs to consume something ASAP to forget and distract itself from the external stimuli or aggression or so on. Eating is the matter of our psyche, and to regulate this process, we should regulate our nervous system as well, and then fasting will be easier for you. What I wanted to say regarding the central nervous system more, that it influences on our spiritual awakening, on enlightenment process very much, because when we have regulated and resistant nervous system, we're not triggered emotionally, and our mind is not influencing on us. After Samadhi experience, the central nervous system also improves a lot, and you become even much more resistant. You become like neutral. You are not going down. You perceive in reality as or bliss, or maybe neutral, but very pleasant. Probably after Samadhi experience, I had only a couple of days, because I have my mood calendar in telephone. I register my condition daily, and I can say that there were only a couple of days when my crazy mind tried to distract me from reality and to convince me of some things that my life is very bad and I should suffer immediately or change something or go somewhere. This is the attempt of ego to influence. But ego always loses this game. During all practices, all kriyas that you are doing on this channel, try to distract yourself from all the thoughts. This is very important. When you are making some kind of movements, just feel as you are not the body, but the body moves inside you, and you will see that your stamina will increase. Try to abstract from your body sensations, and you will find out that even pain, tension is perceived very easily if you're not given any kind of assessments by your mind, like, Lisa, stop it, when it will be finished, I'm very tired, I want to bring my legs down, and so on. If you will abstract from the idea that it's very bad condition, it won't be bad. It will be kind of sensation in the body that, yes, it's not very pleasant maybe, but it's much more bearable than in case if you will be given characteristics and assessments to this process. This is a very important point about the evaluations that our mind gives. Only because our mind gives evaluations to the conditions of our life, to the behavior of other people, we are so miserable. If we perceive reality not like black and white, but as the variety of everything that is not bad or good, but have a right to exist, then it would be much better for us to live through the very bad circumstances. Evaluations is a great matter. Even now, when you look at me, try not to evaluate myself as any kind, beautiful or ugly, curly or not curly. Try to just purely perceive some kind of picture. And if you will be very concentrated, you can even see that it's some kind of creature in front of your eyes that you have never seen before. And that's why the pure perception of this fourth state of consciousness is so miraculous, because you see ordinary things, but you perceive them as something new, something incredibly and unseen before. And the total reality transforms into some kind of 10D movie, which is very interesting, and you want to perceive and see more and more and to investigate it more. Regarding fasting, again, I'm not put so much attention on how and what I'm eating, but it goes like this, that I eat only once a day, especially when I'm very busy and I feel myself nourished by the communication with people, by the things I'm doing and expressing to the world. I'm so satisfied with this life that I don't have to put something inside me to feel this pleasure and relaxation and so on. And even I compare the state when I'm not drinking and eating and when I'm eating, and I see that my stamina increases during my fasting days, dry days, because I'm empty from within and my body is very light, it's very powerful, it's very energized. My mind is very clear. I have a clarity in my thoughts, in my thinking. And also I have less sleep. When I have 9 hours of sleep, I feel myself broken. So it's illusion that the more you sleep, the greater you feel yourself in the morning. And people at the age of 40 already notice that there is not enough sleep for them. Even if they slept for 10 hours, it's not enough them to restore the resources of their body. They still feel broken. They still feel this fatigue and apathy. So the main idea here I want to convey by this moment, I know a lot of people who are not eating, drinking water and sleeping for at least 1 year. I have 3 persons, examples, 4 already. I'm convinced that when you are moving to the 4th state of consciousness, after Samadhi experience, after you released all stress from your life and you totally accept what happens, you can shift to the lighter types of nutrition automatically. You don't even have to convince yourself or use your willpower to shift to these types of nutrition. It's like to compare 2 persons who is smoking and who not. Who is not smoking, he doesn't even think about cigarettes. He's not smoking. And the same thing about food. I'm not thinking about chocolates because I'm happy right now. I'm in the total bliss. The world is very tasty for me. But if I'm miserable, I'm eating my problems. I'm drinking alcohol to run away. And also, when we are sleeping, we are running away from this reality. We cannot bear what we see, and our nervous system is so stressed that yes, we need some kind of switching off to restore our forces. But the difference why we don't need sleep in the other state of consciousness is only in the very fact that we are not being stressed, that our body is very free, that we are not tensed from within. We have no problems. And if you have no problems, you are not given energy to these mad thoughts, you're not given energy for struggle, and you only receive new experiences, and you're not evaluating them as bad and good. That's why you also save your energy. How many benefits are from this state of consciousness? You know, when I started sleeping deprivation in summer, it was on willpower and nothing good came out of this. But when I started to eat once a day, it happened to me that my sleep decreased. And of course, I had no external circumstances that will be triggering my psyche. So I was very harmonious and balanced from the inside. And that's why sleep deprivation was very easy for me. Hopefully, I will have much more time in a day to dedicate myself to things, to you, because I see myself as helping other people to decrease the level of their anxiety, to accept this cruel reality much easier. And this is possible only if we will work with the resetting of our brain, neural connections, erasing of the old concepts and patterns from our brain, and strengthen our nervous system. With me, it happened automatically because I'm practicing Kundalini yoga. All body workouts, not only Kundalini yoga, but maybe other physical activities, can release the extra stress from the body. And we can be more sensitive. The body begins to talk with ourselves. It begins to guide us only where we should go, and really resisting when we want to go astray, when our mind tries to lead us astray. Usually body reacts like adrenaline injection, and we feel inexplicable anxiety inside. As well as when we meet some kind of not very pleasant persons, on subconscious level, our body tells us that this is dangerous. We should run away, escape. I have a very cool book, I don't know you see it or not, Talking with Psychopaths and Savages, in English. I'm learning English like this. And what I can say is that whole communication with people will also be much more aware. You won't ever find yourself in some kind of abusive relationship with narcissist or psychopath if you will have this pure perception of the things. So you are becoming like a psychic. You can absolutely say everything about person in 5 minutes or probably less. You know, one more cool observation of my life is that from the very childhood I seemed like had the ability to go to the state of consciousness. That's why when we were summoning spirits of the dead with my sisters, using the dish and the special table with the litters, which was replying us on questions we were asking, is that when I was a little girl, about 9 years old, I could move to this thoughtless state, for a state of consciousness, and perceive everything here and now in the moment, and my arm, without my brain, without my assessments, was moving the dish and replying shockingly correctly. And my sisters were claiming that, Lisa, again, you pulled this dish. But they were surprised, and we shocked many guys around when they attended our spiritual sessions. As well as my tarot reading, I have a very beautiful new deck of my cards. I love it so much. It's the Klimt Tarot, inspired the painter, artist from Austria, Klimt. Very beautiful pictures. And usually I'm using tarot just as a ritual to put myself in a fourth state of consciousness, and these beautiful pictures help me just to read other person, his problems. And of course this body was very interested in psychology, and that's why knowledge, it doesn't go anywhere. After Samadhi experience, still your vocabulary or your habits of the body will remain the same, so you will be using all the knowledge you have, and moreover you will receive some knowledge going from nowhere, inexplicable knowledge, and you can't control where it's from, but it's like being channeled. This is why channeling, it explains channeling, Reiki healing, and so on. Only from the fourth state of consciousness, without personality and ego inside, without thinking and evaluating, you can be a healer, psychic, or let's call it so. Though I can say that for sure you cannot predict any future. This is lies. You can only see the whole picture right now, by this moment, and some probably possible scenarios that align somewhere closer to you right now. But each day everything may happen, because the reality comes from the perception of the observer, quantum physics. Everything is very understandable for me right now. I don't know if I conveyed any idea to you or not, but certainly I will say that if you still believe, if you have a program, for example, that you will die without food and water, you will. Don't try to do it from the personality, from the ego. And especially if you want to prove something to someone, because this is the desire of ego and you will be punished. Many things in life we're doing only to be loved and to prove something to someone. But the more we try, the less we get. But if we will be sincere with us, with other people, then we will receive what we want. Love, events, and so on. And life will be really improved. Just to release the grip and stop holding people or some circumstances that are no longer relevant at this moment. But still I love cards. Before Samadhi, after Samadhi, the main secret is to do only what you like and to skip the things that are not bringing you happiness and pleasure. Before Samadhi experience and this perception, this shift of reality, I was singing, shooting Kriyas, editing video, releasing it on Instagram and wherever, and I sincerely liked what I'm doing. And after this experience, nothing went out of my life except several persons whom I blocked easily because there is no feeling of shame. I'm not afraid what they will say about me. If there will be accusations, I will simply block person and that's all. And I want to surround myself only with those people who are on one wave with me, who understand what I'm explaining. This life is a dream, it's illusory, and when you will wake up, you will clearly see it. But as long as you believe in what you see, that you are body that was born in this year, you won't go anywhere. All attempts of being breatharian or to be a psychic healer will be wasted. But if you will expand your consciousness, if you will at least accept the idea that the world is not as real as you think, you will have this quantum leap of your consciousness. You will have the ability to make this quantum leap. Now I see life as a very wise lila game, or they say Maya, Maya illusion. That is very wise, and it gives us only the things we need to receive and need to experience through this body. Not for nothing we have some kind of deeds we love from the very birth. It's the topic of reincarnation, and probably I won't be sharing it in this video, but to have some kind of resume for today, I will give you some kind of advices that will help you on the way. First advice, to accept everything that you see without assessments, evaluations, no matter how hard and annoying the picture is. This is the provocation of your mind. Focus your attention on the current picture and what you see right now. Try to be as silent inside of you at this moment as you can. Third thing is to stop fighting. Don't be trying to prove something, your opinion or your conceptions. Don't try to rape this world. Fourth is to do everything to practice Kundalini yoga more, to train your body and help your body to generate those chemicals in your brain and to regulate your nervous system. This is very important. You don't have to go to the retreat, to the forest without society to achieve enlightenment or so on. You should be totally in the game and be in the dynamic meditation everywhere you are going, even if you are surrounded by savages and psychopaths. You should remain the white lotus in the swamp, untouchable, unbreakable, perceiving as it is, without fears, reactions, assessments. So pure as you can, so neutral as you can. And fifth, everyone needs these points. I don't know, I just have this flow of not very structured thoughts. And the fifth, probably, yes, observation, attention in the moment, training your body, working out all your clamps, tension from the body, and walk more, because during the walk you are concentrated in the picture and your body is moving, and you can observe it from the outside as well as the whole space. And if you are very involved in the scenario of your life, in this game, if you are facing right now some kind of very hard to bear circumstances, relations, or you don't know how to cope with some kind of things, just try to ask yourself, who is suffering inside you right now and why? You will discover that this is the personality who wanted something otherwise, who wanted the reality to be as it imagined herself, himself, and that's why happens this resistance. But if you will at least pretend that okay, I will wait, I will trust, you will see that after a while, gradually, the condition of your life will be improved, and you will be much more satisfied. But as I told before, ego won't be ever satisfied with life. It will be searching for some new knowledge, and will try to explain everything, try to predict everything, and put some kind of soft pillow in case if you will fall. But we are totally fragile and spontaneous, and should be spontaneous in this chaotic world, to adapt much faster to conditions which are not predictable and change every day. So we will do, like ideal machine, only what is necessary from us at each moment. So our actions will be much logical, they will be strictly connected to the topic. There won't be any extra potentials and hysterical perception, and only without too much emotions we can find the easy solution. Solution comes itself. And catch yourself every time when you want to react aggressively. It's better to leave the place or person with whom and where you feel uncomfortable. If there is no where to go, just try to perceive everything without assessments and evaluations. As you are watching the movie, and now some kind of dramatic culmination happens on the screen, but it also will be gone, because all experiences, bad days, good days, they are passing through. You are the sky, and these conditions change like clouds. Today is sunny day, tomorrow will be rainy day, and if you will be in the moment, you won't be wishing for things to change immediately. And that's very easy. So still, if you need my help in explaining your case exactly, or if you want me to help yourself to start fasting, at least intermittent fasting, I can give you some advices. You can put fasting as a goal to cure yourself of some kind of cysts, myomas of sex organs, for example. Fasting is a very good tool, at least to get rid of some kind of diseases. Or if you caught cold, it also very beneficial, and the process of healing yourself will be much faster on fasting. And about the process of cleansing intestines with enema and so on, I shot video about fasting, but the very time I was shooting it, I didn't have any consideration of what fourth state of consciousness is. And of course, I explained from the medical point of view how it will be much more safety to practice fasting, to cleanse your intestines, to be a vegan or raw vegan for a couple of days before the fasting, so the body will be prepared. But you know what? I see examples of people who never cleansed themselves. Moreover, they were eating everything and they shifted to dry fasting immediately because they understood with the mind how it works, and without fears they moved on. And regarding sleep deprivation as well, that sleep deprivation expands consciousness. It's for sure, because the less you sleep, the more clear reality as it is you see. When I practiced sleep deprivations, our picture at night was so magical, and there was such a great range of coloring in objects that it was compared to microdosing. So I will be practicing sleep deprivation more. It will happen naturally if I will be eating less, because these things are codependent. Though I know one girl, she's living in Monaco, she's very rich. She's not sleeping for 1.5 years probably, yes. She's not sleeping at all, but she eats. She eats once a day, but only once a day. And she says that she has intuitive nutrition, and this nutrition energizes her. So as you see, happens only the things you believe in. So if you are sure that your life is very bad and you are struggling only, that you are a victim of circumstances and people, the reality will be giving you the same thing. The reality will be only confirming, yes it is, the world is bad, yes it is, you're a victim, and so on. In psychology, this is called the Rosenthal Effect. We receive only what we are emitting, what we're giving to the world. If you want to fight, then you will meet some kind of enemies. If you will be in harmony and you will be convinced that the world is not crazy, it's harmonious, then it will be as such. You will be very comfortable in any conditions. So don't forget about this. Only your perception determines the reality around you. So I thank everyone who is with me on my channel. Keep on working on yourself. You know, you should be willing to get rid of suffering. You should be sincerely willing to be happy. And if you really want to be happy, you will. You won't have any kind of secondary benefits of the state of victim, of suffering. You will be sincerely tired of suffering. And in this case, you will wake up much faster. Stay true and kind. The rest things, never mind. Subscribe to the channel. And write me on email or Instagram if you have some kind of requests.